You're listening to the Electronic Media Collective Podcast Network. Yeah, it's a mouthful. For more great shows like the one you're about to enjoy, visit electronicmediacollective.com. And now, our feature presentation.
The following broadcast is brought to you by Marked Out Wrestling Podcast. Marked Out Wrestling Podcast is not affiliated, nor do our opinions reflect those of WWE, NXT, TNA, Ring of Honor, New Japan, or any other professional wrestling promotion.
But I just gotta know one thing. Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Are you ready, kids?
Marked Out Wrestling Podcast presents Brian.
Do you think I'll ever find the right woman?
Oh, God, yes, man. Come on, dude, you're great.
Golda.
Rub Vaseline all over your hiney and tell you that it's special and different from everyone else's.
And Jody Robb.
Shit, what are you fucking both doing? Good Lord!
This is the Weekly Takedown.
Nobody cares! Nobody cares!
What's up, everybody? The day is May 11th, 2017. This is episode 148 of the Mother Effin' Takedown.
Mother Effin'?
Mother Effin'. It's highbrow, so you know what? I'm gonna hold off. You know what? No, fuck it. Oh,
Mother F.
Right, exactly. Yeah, get the F out. In studio.
No, it's get the F out.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Get the F out.
WNBC.
WNBC. Pig vomit. Golda, in studio, we have Mr. Golda. How are you, sir?
I'm doing fabulous. Heavy, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking.
Anytime.
And as always, we have, I was going to say the man, the myth, the legend, but I know I've called you that before.
Nah.
Do you have anything clever or cute?
No.
He's the maestro of mixing.
The maestro of mixing. I like that.
Ooh. I like the mixing maestro.
The mixing maestro.
The mixing maestro.
Okay.
Yeah.
We can work. Rody Rob, how are you, man?
I'm good, sir. Thank you.
Do we, you know what? Do we want to introduce the board?
Sure. At this very moment, you could see, but you don't have it up on your screen.
I don't actually.
We have JVL Shadow, who's been on there since 3 p.m. today. 3 p.m.
3 p.m.
Yeah.
Patiently waiting.
We got Noah, who's on the board. He says, now coming. Wait, let me get back to it so I can see it. Noah says, coming into the stream, weighing in at 245 pounds from Houston, Texas. Noah. We see Juan Rodriguez there, who's got a picture of an emoji shooting himself. And so, yeah, there you go.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Well, you said that I can see it. I can't see it.
Well, if you put the stream...
This is the Google machine.
Yeah, you just don't know how to do it, dude.
No, come on. No.
Okay, Adam, thank you.
Do not call me that.
Sorry.
Let's get some housekeeping out of the way.
Really?
No?
Before we do that...
Yeah, okay, let's do that.
iTunes.
All right.
Fork.
Housekeeping.
Come back later, please.
Housekeeping.
Not now.
Housekeeping.
Go away.
I come in anyway.
Welcome to Marked Out Wrestling Podcast, and here are your housekeeping notes. Please listen and watch us as we expand our content for you, the Marked Out universe. Monday Night Rawsome, Tuesday Night SmackDown, Thursday NXT Takedown, Bob vs. the World, The Weekly Squash, The Power Slam Dance Show with Brian and Golda. Our heavy-handed heavies will discuss and interview indie talent throughout the country, coast to coast. You can join the conversation on Twitter at SmartMarkShow or call the fan line 704-444-0084 during the show, or you can leave a message for our next one. Visit markedOutWrestling.com for all other social media platforms. We are excited to announce that Marked Out Wrestling has now joined the Bubba Radio Army. Visit BubbaArmyRadio.com for listings. Get connected.
Oh my God!
I said no.
Okay, I clean.
No, get out of here.
I stick finger in your mouth. Housekeeping.
Okay.
Meet Bitch Brian.
One more time.
Meet Bitch Brian.
Hitman is here.
Meet Bitch Brian.
Heyo, Hitman. What's up, man? All right. So this episode of NXT was a pretty I don't want to get into it yet, but before we do that, yeah, let's kick it over to Mr. Golda for some bullet points, please.
Yes, bullet points. I'm starting off with a little bit of indie per se.
Okay.
New Japan Pro Wrestling announced their entrance for the Super Juniors tournament. That's going to be kicking off in June.
Anybody notable?
Yes, in Block A, we have Jushin Thunder Liger,
Ooh.
King Ricochet, Will Ospreay, Taichi, Taka Michinoku, and Hiromu Takahashi.
Okay.
Dragon Lee, and Marty Scurll, who I'm a big fan of, of Ring of Honor.
I feel like sushi right now.
If I ate sushi, I would be all over that. All right, Block B, we have Tiger Mask 4, Taguchi, Kushida, Yoshinobu Kanemaru, El Desperado, and Bushi.
Okay.
So, and ACH, who's also in Ring of Honor.
All right. Is there any Juice Robinson names in there? No. Okay.
No Juicy, no.
No Juicy.
All right.
What else you got, man?
Let's see. WWE held an emergency meeting today to discuss the Universal title now that Braun Strowman's out of the mix for the next 2 months per se. Seth Rollins and Finn Balor are said to be the top contenders to face Brock Lesnar at the Great Balls of Fire. So
Finn Balor?
Yes.
I'm torn.
Why?
I mean, all they have really is Finn or Seth that could.
You think it's too quick?
I guess will Braun be back in time for that?
No, Great Ball Braun. It's. They want to plan otherwise.
I don't mind seeing Finn and Braun and Brock. I just don't know if it's there yet. I don't know.
Well, I guess they're going to be pushing for Braun Strowman to face Lesnar at SummerSlam.
Okay, cool.
So they're going to save that for the big pay-per-view.
All
right. Chris Jericho is being advertised for the WWE live shows June 30th and July 1st in Tokyo, Japan.
Yeah, Fozzy was only a short-term thing, the quick little tour.
Yeah, what was it? Maybe a month?
Yeah, month
Not
and a half.
even?
Yeah,
month and a half.
They have like a full month of May and then like 2 short weeks that they have.
That's generally how long.
Well, you got to imagine that Chris Jericho is in a position where he can write his own schedule, and he's probably having a time of his life right now working on the roster.
Yeah, I mean,
sure.
He said this is the best run he's ever had. He felt like it's most fun for him.
Right, this is his work. He gets to wrestle, then, oh, you know what? I'm going to go do my other job and go sing for a fucking rock band. Yeah, tough life.
Yeah, right.
Good for him, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. Jim Ross and Corey Graves would likely be the commentary team for the WWE Women's Tournament.
God, how can they okay, so they're going to have Jim Ross and Nigel on the UK show.
Yes.
And they're going to have Corey Graves and Jim Ross on the Women's Tournament. How can you hear that combination? Because I haven't even heard it, and I already know it's going to be magic.
Mm-hmm.
How can you have that combination and not go, we should have this on the main show? Or we should not have this on the main show?
Well, I think that might just be because of Jim Ross. I don't know if he wants to do that schedule.
Well, maybe.
Well, he has said that he's down to do whatever WWE asks him to.
There you go.
To fill his time since his wife passed away.
Yeah, I mean, you got to imagine he's grieving.
All right, now we have, remember Dylan Miley? He was the big man that debuted a few weeks ago in that little squash with DIY. Turns out they changed his name to Lars Sullivan, which I think is a great move because nothing strikes fear in the hearts as the name Dylan Miley.
No, what did you say? It almost sounds
Lars,
like...
Lars only scares me if I'm doing peer-to-peer file sharing. I don't...
Right, yeah.
It kind of sounds like Norman Smiley, like he's about to do the big wiggle.
Right. That's exactly...
Which he is a coach in NXT, so I mean, I guess that wouldn't be too surprising.
That's true.
All right, and the last one, this is directly NXT related.
Okay.
WWE officials are said to be very high on Alister Black, and he may not be in NXT for very long, but before joining the main roster.
Ooh. You know, it's part of the discussion for later on in tonight, or for our show here, but, you know, they haven't really programmed him with anybody. They haven't teased anything with him. So maybe there's no need to.
Maybe, they're just going to have him do all these tune-up matches just to have him...
Build a name?
Yeah, just to introduce him to the WWE Universe.
I guess, have they done that before? Have they really done any, like, where they introduce a guy in NXT, have him, essentially squash a bunch of guys, and then just bring them up to either Raw? I
don't think so.
No, right?
The closest I would say is Kevin Owens, but he...
Yeah, I was going to say KO.
Yeah, he's the closest I've seen. He was only there for 6 months before they moved him up.
Right.
I don't know. I have to do
Apollo Crews?
Yeah, well, no.
Well, he was in NXT. He was in
do anything
developmental
in
for a
NXT.
while.
Yeah, but
no, he wasn't there that long at all, actually. I mean...
Well, he had a little program. He had some number one contender matches. He fought Finn Balor for the belt once.
But he still was there for a heartbeat compared to most people.
Right.
So, yeah.
All right, that's it for me. Let's go, boys.
I love it. Let's move on.
Okay.
All right. Well, I want to welcome to the board Mr. Adam Baum.
Boo.
Welcome. Hi, hello. Actually, no, you know what? Go away. Just kidding.
JBL Shadow said, Adam's here. It's the worst invasion ever.
Yeah, right. He makes a good point about our guy Black. He says he won't get a title run. He said won't get a title run then if moved up, which that's, I mean, I guess I'd be okay with.
If we keep saying that, it's true.
Right.
Right. We got to hope that it's going to change eventually.
Yeah. So let's get into our big three. I mean, to be honest, not really much to pick from this episode. We still have one more week left for of regular television up until NXT Takeover. Correct? Right? Am I wrong?
Right.
I have to look at my my calendar. And
is it 1 week or 2 weeks?
2 weeks?
2 weeks.
2 weeks. 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Anyway, let's get into the big three. Let's go hit it off.
3.
Ruby. So in this, we're going to kick it off with we had our wonderful promos with Ruby Riott.
And Nikki Cross.
Yeah, I mean the Ruby Riott thing was okay.
Another This Is Your Life.
Yeah, exactly. It was it was more or less.
But at
what
least
we
it was
saw.
short.
Right.
It was only 4 minutes.
You made a great point.
Anything to divert from her looks.
Oh, don't be mean.
Hey,
I'm joking.
You were keeping it highbrow last time.
I know.
That's right.
I like Ruby. She's cool.
She has a great personality.
She does. She's
You're an asshole.
Hey man, she has tattoos. She's good in my book.
That's right. Yeah.
Hey, I'm not saying I wouldn't. I just wouldn't be the first pick.
Right. So we get a little bit into her life. She's at a tattoo shop. All this stuff. Cool. But what really stuck out was the entire Nikki Cross backstage promo that they had set up for us. Now, we didn't really get anything from her. She didn't really say much of anything worth, towards the storyline. But I mean, that's excellent that she didn't have to say a word, and still, she gets across that she's absolutely insane, crazy. I don't know, all of the above.
Yeah, she didn't
whatever.
need to give us anything that was anything remotely pertaining to her storyline.
Yeah,
she just went in there, was batshit crazy, and
yeah, just remind me of my college girlfriend. Just that's all she had to do, and I was like, I know her. I'm sold.
That's right.
There you go. This whole when she's doing the Ruby thing, and she throw Asuka's name in there, but I didn't buy the Asuka part. The Ruby was the main part here. It goes to what I was thinking originally with the Fatal 4-Way, is they were starting a program with Ruby and Nikki officially, and that Ember would probably get the belt not from Asuka, and then they would start a program with Asuka and Ember. Well, now Ember's out, so Asuka I think retains here. And you continue with the Ruby and Nikki program.
You don't think they'll put the belt on someone else just to maybe have a crossover champion?
No,
to keep it warm for when Ember's ready.
No, I think this is the first real test of NXT losing a big name for a big match, like right before it's supposed to happen, and we're going to see how they're going to react to it. But I really think that it was Ember's turn, and she got hurt, so now they're just going to hold Asuka with that belt and have her do some squash shit while the other two feud, and then Ember comes back for a rematch at the next takeover or whatever.
That'd be probably the SummerSlam takeover in Brooklyn, I'm guessing.
Yeah, she's not out for all that long. I mean, they said
4 to 6 weeks.
It's a grade 1 shoulder sprain.
Right. Yeah.
So I mean, that doesn't sound too.
Yeah,
I mean, she'll be back right after takeover.
Maybe it could have even. This could even. I wouldn't do it, but it could even push it to like an NXT show defense where she wins it there. I mean,
they could, but that just seems like a money draw. You'd want that. Well, I mean, on the big show.
Joe got the title from Finn at a house show.
That's true. Anything can happen.
Right. I think that they did that to help the sales for the house shows.
No, you can have the match. Oh, right. You mean you're saying anything?
Oh, yeah, anything can happen. You might be able to see a title go.
I don't know if you needed that for the house shows. I mean, house shows for NXT get sold because diehard fans go to house shows.
Right. It just helps with the unpredictability.
Right.
But I mean, imagine if we went to the show that we went to. Imagine if there was a title change like that.
At a house show?
Yeah.
Oh, I'd lose my shit.
Right. Especially your seats.
Oh, my seat. Yeah, damn.
That's
Skippy.
true. I was going to say anything on the board, but it seems that Adam Baum is just going back and forth about the production mishap.
What was that? What production?
No, not the production mishap.
Oh, talking about how shitty he was at the board?
Yes, there we go.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what
I do want to point out that JBL Shadow says, I agree with Rob. So just want to put that out there. He agrees with Rob. And then Baum says, yeah, me and Rob were discussing that last night. Got to be right. I don't know. Yeah. Okay, cool.
But I guess to cap this topic, we also saw we saw a couple good promos for the women, but we also saw the one for Ember Moon. Jesus.
Oh, God.
And I don't know. I mean, I've been a big fan of hers, obviously in ring, and I've tried to be a fan of hers as far as promo wise. But I mean, this one just felt very forced.
It did. It felt very, here's your script, say these words.
Right, and very produced, shall I say.
Yeah.
It wasn't nearly as good as the post WrestleMania TakeOver one, where she
Right, that one was
where she
awesome.
was
I
showing
mean, why-
personality and humility. I thought that was 10 times better than what
Yeah,
the
that
three
was
lines
all-
she gave us last night.
That was also a pre-produced segment, the one from TakeOver. This was another one of those, kind of live feeds. It wasn't live, but you know what I mean? One of those,
Right.
Hey, you're going to shoot on it right now. And it just, look, some people are good actors.
Right.
And some people are not. And she's just not a good actor. She's a great worker. I think in the ring her charisma shines. But yeah, when it comes to putting that mic in her face and in her hand and camera in her face, the acting just goes bleh.
But I mean, this isn't really acting per se. I mean, she's legitimately hurt. So I mean, you'd think that kind of come across a little bit more than it did on camera.
Well,
but,
and that should be your motivation for
right?
the
Exactly.
scene.
Yes.
Yeah. And scene.
Yeah.
But it was clearly not. It clearly was like, I'm going to take over. Apparently, I'm not in Chicago, and I will be back soon. I'll get my belt. Goodbye. The face didn't change. The tones didn't change. I mean, come on, man.
It was standard. I'm hurt. I'll come back better than ever. Standard that everybody does.
Well, it was standard, but it was also very, I didn't believe that she believed it.
Right.
I believed that she was telling me words she was supposed to tell me.
So is it a work?
No,
it's not a work. No, it's not a work.
If you watch the spot where she hurt her shoulder, when she landed, you could see her left arm hits the top
Kinda
of the
hung
rail.
up,
Yes.
right.
So
Yeah,
you could see it.
I love what Noah's saying here. Ember Moon playing her best Hideo Itami impression. I'll get to that later. Trust me, I will. But okay.
Yeah, let's.
You want to move on?
Yeah, if there's nothing else on the board, we can move on.
2.
All right, so number 2, we had DIY versus AOP, and it was announced that we're going to be seeing a ladder match at TakeOver Chicago.
Yay! It's about fucking time.
You think?
Yeah, it's about fucking time. How long? Have you ever seen a ladder match in NXT? I don't remember one.
They had to have had one.
No, I don't remember. Tell me who.
Well, this is a good thing. Someone on the board is bound to know. So
That's
come on,
right.
tell us.
Yeah, someone chime in. What was the ladder match that they've had in NXT? Because
I want to say Kevin Owens and Finn Balor had one. I want to say
yes. That sounds kind of right.
Yes,
definitely
the
Kevin
rematch.
Owens.
Kevin Owens rematch. I'm pretty sure was a ladder match.
The one that was in the stateside or overseas?
Stateside. He won the
here.
belt overseas, and then I want to say his rematch was a ladder match.
I don't maybe. I just anyway. Okay, so tag team ladder match. It's
definitely the first tag team ladder. But even we should have more than one ladder match in 5 years. There's plenty of good feuds where they could have had a ladder match.
Well,
besides this one.
They don't do a lot of gimmicks in NXT,
which I like,
which is good. But ladder matches to me are those special matches that you can throw into rotation. At least 2 times a year.
Right.
And get this fantastic results from.
Yeah, Noah confirmed that you guys were indeed correct. Finn and KO had a ladder match, but also one that we forgot. Zayn and Neville had one. For the first NXT title match.
Okay.
That was before I started watching, I think.
Yeah, I mean that was really before anyone really.
Yeah, my very first NXT show I watched was KO's debut show.
Well, how would that be the first NXT title match when
Tyler Black?
Rollins was
Tyler Black. What the fuck?
Rollins was the first NXT champion.
I think they meant the first title match with the ladder.
Or for their title match. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
We don't know what we're talking about.
Yeah, but all I have to say is, who at this table does not think that DIY is going to go in this fucking ladder match and just completely show out?
And win? Or
I don't think they're going to win, but they're going to put on the fucking match of their lives with these big oaks.
I was wrong about the match to begin with. I said it wasn't going to happen. I was clearly wrong.
Why? You thought DIY was going to be...
Well, I've been outspoken that DIY wasn't going to get another shot at AOP at a takeover. I thought that was just... It was been there, done that kind of thing, but apparently they saw fit to do it again. And I'm okay only because it's a ladder match.
Yeah.
I think that's why they did it, to give it some variety, because you've already seen them wrestle once.
Yeah.
Oh, we saw him in a cage too, right? Did we ever see him in a cage? I think we've seen him in a cage. Man, I got to do my homework.
Who's that in the cage?
AOP and DIY.
No, it was AOP versus the Aussies when Paul Ellering was in the cage. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he was in the shark cage.
Yes.
The shark cage.
Yeah.
Aussie.
There we go.
Yeah,
Yes.
doing the Jim Cornette.
All right, so I guess anything on the board? Can they chime in at all?
No, they're confusing the shit out of us right now.
Why?
I don't know.
Oh, just all the different people with ladder matches. That's right. So yeah, I mean, I guess this is a good thing just because it gives DIY something else to do. I know that we've seen them against AOP before, but like you said, this kind of spices it up a little bit. And who's that guy? What is it? Salt Bay? Would just give like the little fucking
Salt Bay.
Yeah, right.
Salt Bay.
You gotta make sure the salt bounces off your elbow, though.
Oh, that's right.
I'm just really hoping that this is finally the time when the division takes a turn, because I've been hoping that this division was going to really take a huge turn with new faces and new rivalries, and it hasn't been. It's been kind of walking in place for a little bit.
Well, I mean, we got some new faces. We have Riddick. I almost called him Riddick. What'd you say, Riddick Bowe?
Riddick Moss and Tino Sabatelli.
Yeah, I mean, those are new faces. They kind of came out of nowhere, and they had a match against the
Sabatelli.
Which
a botch
sounds
machine.
like like a pizza joint that sells wings. That's
Well, he's a botch machine.
Can I share with what I thought about Riddick Moss? What I asked you guys before?
Please.
I had no idea that Riddick Moss was a white guy.
Okay, I really don't have a reaction for that.
No?
No.
Well, every time I've ever known someone whose either his name was Riddick or their last name was Moss, they were always African American gentlemen.
Right.
Well, isn't he like Samoan or Hawaiian or?
Is he?
No, he just looks like a white dude with a tan.
I don't care enough.
I don't
to
care
know.
either. It was just something that came into my brain. That's why the takedown. That's the difference.
You know who these guys are? These are fish who cut the line.
Yes.
These are like either you're going to get over now or we're done with you, because I think Riddick Moss, he's been there for a good while, kind of on the shelf here and there.
Yeah, he looked a lot better than Sabatelli did.
He did.
Me and Brian were watching the match, and we counted on our hand like 4 times that Sabatelli was just botching everything.
Yeah, Roddy Rob was doing his pre-show ritual of mowing the front lawn.
The HOA's in my ass, man. I got to mow that shit. Yeah.
I guess I'm looking on the board. JVL Shadow, new faces, which were in the no, that's not blah 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 blah. Anyway,
well, I mean, we got to my point. We got Heavy Machinery, which was great. We got this,
which we didn't see.
Yeah, we got this Moss, whatever the fuck.
Sabatelli,
cyberspace Moss, whatever. They're there. I don't give a shit about there. I keep yelling. I want the red shoes, white shoes.
The Street Profits.
Is that what they're calling them? Street Profits?
That's what I see on the interwebs.
I didn't know that.
The Street Profits.
But they're over like gangbusters at all their shows. I'm waiting for them to come jumping on. We have your TMJ, whatever. What
TMJ, TM61,
PMJ,
PMWJ.
Yeah, the one guy from TM61, he should be back pretty soon from his ACL injury. He's been out about 9 months.
And I just want to give a shout out to Tristan. I just want to say hi, welcome to the board, and thank you for listening.
Hi, Tristan.
Hi, Tristan.
KLF is gonna rock you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anything else, I guess, to add to this topic before we move on?
No.
Yeah, me either.
1.
All right, number 1, the big guy, this is one that we've been looking forward to, or I guess myself, I've been looking forward to since they announced it last week.
You two discuss. I'll get in a minute. I want to hear what you got to say first.
Okay, yeah, I know you had something definitely brewing.
Oh yeah, I do.
And you should have seen him. He was just kind of as he was mowing the lawn, I could see you were just kind of talking to yourself.
I kept repeating over and over, save it for the show. Save it for the show.
Yeah, he walked in from the yard through the garage and was like, save it for the show. Save it for the. I'm like, what the fuck is he
It's inspiring. I mean, I like mowing the lawn.
Like you saw like smoke coming out of his ears. There was wheels turning in his head.
That's right. So we had Hideo Itami versus Roderick Strong for the number one contendership for the NXT title for Takeover Chicago, and it was a great match for what it was. I mean, these are two top guys who they have obviously they have all their history from before WWE and NXT. But I mean, as for the match, I mean, it was a good match. It was for TV. I mean, that's pretty cool that we got to see that without having it be at one of these big events.
And it was
or anything.
about an 18-minute match.
Mm-hmm. It was pretty long.
It was a nice long match.
I think there were two commercials. I want to say.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, yeah. What?
Nothing. Go ahead.
You're just waiting.
I am.
Well, I will say
yes, please
since,
go.
Since Roddy Rob's he's mute, say except for his doing his best. I like that cornbread. But I love the match myself. I'm torn to say who I thought looked stronger in the match. I want to say Roderick Strong did. Tommy sold better than I thought he was going to, because he sold like dick in the live show that we saw in Concord against Velveteen Dream.
That's true.
And which I'm very excited for him to come back.
I am too.
Velveteen Dream. I can't wait. Yeah. I even put that on Facebook last night.
Yeah, I am too.
So I'm excited about that. But the match itself was a good match. They gave them ample time, and they put their moves out. Roddy looked real strong.
He did.
Hideo looked real strong.
He did.
I would have rather Roderick Strong won.
Me too.
Personally.
Me too.
But just because I'm just waiting for a Tommy to get hurt again. Not that I want him to.
Right, but it's just kind of one of those things where it's going to happen.
Right.
Right.
At some point, yeah.
Okay. I agree with a lot of your points. I do. I was also disappointed with Roddy taking the fall. Hopefully they have other things for him planned, and I do want to see him on the card at NXT at Takeover Chicago. I hope this doesn't mean that we're not going to see him at all. But as for the match itself, yes, very good match. But I'm going to throw it over to you, Mr. Roadie Rob, go.
I wanted everybody to hear that uninterrupted. You too? Because that's what it sounds like when two indie geeks are like making the beast with two backs. That's what you guys are doing there, all right? Because you ever heard that term before, beast with two backs?
No.
You know. Okay, so this was an indie lover's dream match. For a just fan of sports entertainment wrestling itself, no. This match had zero personality. It was great movesets. Yeah, they wrestled, but when you got two bland people,
two baby faces too.
I don't give a shit about the babyface heels concept.
That's tough though. I mean, that's tough to pull off.
Yeah, but there was no emotion in this match. None at all. It was a great long match for wrestling, for pure technical wrestling fans. But if you like the overall aspect of wrestling, you got bored with this match after about 10 minutes. There wasn't any high impact. There was a couple high impact moves, but nothing to really jump you out of your seat. Of course, the fans are going to love it because that's a bunch of diehard kind of indie type fans for NXT at Full Sail.
Right. Yeah, you didn't like it when Roderick Strong threw Kenta into the apron?
No,
that's right.
No, I liked them. They had great moves, but again, when he was doing it, he had like that face where he's catching flies with his mouth. Like,
all right, so whose fault is that though? That's not
theirs.
That's not Roddy.
Roddy and Hideo. They're boring people. Not boring wrestlers. They're boring personalities, and they put into a top card match to determine the main event of Takeover Chicago against one of the most charismatic people on the roster. It seems I'm not excited about it because I've seen Hideo fight enough that I could say he's a great wrestler, but he's shit when it comes to personality.
I mean, I just kind of feel like because I agree. I mean, I'm not saying that you're wrong, but I just feel like with Hideo kind of getting this shot, this is almost like his due diligence. Like this was something that was owed to him when he signed. It was almost something that that they agreed to, because obviously he wouldn't have made the jump to NXT if he didn't have these things lined up as far as him getting some sort of, I don't know, of a higher. I don't want to say he's handled. I mean, he is handled differently. I will say it.
No, it's very clear why they would sign him and Roderick as well. It's okay. We got two guys who are they get name ID is strong. Number one, number two, they're ticket sellers where they go for their markets. New Japan, which is a lot like indie when it comes to wrestle over personality, right? Wrestle over entertainment.
Right.
So, and WWE's always had this kind of idea, like a woman does when she starts dating a guy that's flawed. Oh, I can bring them in and I can make them the way I want them to be. But some people will never grasp that. And I don't think Roderick Strong or Hideo Itami will ever grasp the entertainment or personality side of the business. They will always be great workers. They will always sell tickets to the smaller venues that they go to, but they are never going to grasp the full concept of what the business is now.
Okay, but what about a heel turn? Would that do anything for it to change your mood?
Heels have to have more personality than faces. Faces can be borderline dull. Heels have to be dynamic and they have to bring emotion out of a crowd. Roderick Strong brings no emotion out of me, and besides disgust on his promos. And Hideo Itami brings even less emotion out of me than Roderick Strong does. Yeah. I don't get excited when when I hear about their match, I'm like, oh, cool, I can't wait to see that match. But I'm not like, I can't fucking wait for that shit, man. I just don't.
And I mean, let's be real too. I mean, Golda, do you actually think that Hideo Itami is going to beat Bobby Roode for the NXT title?
Fuck no.
Right.
Personally, I think it's going to be Drew McIntyre versus Roode at SummerSlam.
There you go, two personalities.
That's true.
I'm sorry. It's just the match. I knew you two were going to go indie geek out on that match.
No, I mean,
I see your points. I mean, they're very valid points.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I was just taking it as of just an NXT TV match. I wasn't taking it. I mean, if that match was on Takeover, I'd be very upset.
Yes,
because it's like you said, there's no entertainment factor. It's just straight wrestling.
Right.
But just for a regular NXT episode, I mean, I'm okay with it.
Well, and I guess they felt the same way because they did it. So
yeah, I mean, I'm okay with that match if it was, it was opening bout or middle card bout. I'm okay with that match, and it's about 10 minutes shorter. But for the weekly or a main event at a house show, okay, cool. But for the weekly program on the network, I think, and especially one that elevates the winner up to the main card at the next takeover, I think you have to have somebody in that match. Again, like I hate to keep repeating the same word, somebody who brings emotion and personality into it. So for me, this was a wasted opportunity on a TV taping to draw emotion into it. I mean, personally, this takeover in Chicago, I like all the takeovers, but I'm not overly thrilled about it. And I think part of that is I've got, Hideo Itami or Roderick Strong that could possibly just put me to sleep while Bobby Roode's doing his fucking fantastic gloriousness.
Which he wasn't even. Well, was he even on the show?
No,
he wasn't even on the episode at all.
On the board, Adam said that he thinks Eric Young and Sanity end Roode's run. But that's heel versus heel.
He said that last night. I don't agree.
So
I don't agree with that at all.
I really think they're grooming Galloway to be the next champ so that they can move Roode up. Especially if you listen to the promo he cut, where he said, I'm glad they're in the match. It's going to be a great match, but. For the last 14 years, the last 3 especially, that I'm going to have to take what's mine. I'm going to have to, take it. So
sure.
After the takeover, he's going to he's going to be the next run.
And Brian, I see the look you're giving me.
Yeah.
And
I'm not mad. I'm disappointed.
I know you are. No, I can tell your looks. I know. It's the look I gave you when you didn't call it girl. I'm sorry.
Hey.
I know.
Hey.
I know. You
not yet.
He pulled through. He's good.
We're good.
She's not gonna listen to this. Don't worry.
Yeah, but Adam is, and I'm pretty sure Adam.
Oh, all right.
Anywho, I am in no way saying that I do not like Hideo or Roderick.
Right.
I just don't think that they are ready for where they're putting them right now, and I don't think they're ever really gonna be ready for that spot.
That's a hot take right there.
Oh, it is.
All right. Well, let's see. Anything on the board that you guys? Let's see. Yorkie, Eric Young won't sniff the NXT World Title this year.
No.
No.
I agree with that.
Yeah, we can all agree on that.
Hideo shouldn't be winning. Rude is better than him in every way. I agree, Noah. Absolutely. Bret Hart was great as an overall wrestler. He had good psychology and not just technical ability. I don't know. I wasn't a huge Bret Hart fan.
Yeah, but personality-wise, meh.
Yeah,
he was dull. He was white bread.
Yeah,
he was white bread.
He should have worked on his entrance in NXT.
Dude, fuck yeah, he should have.
Right?
They've been like shooting heart confetti into the air and fucking like.
All right, and then take your sunglasses off and put it on her in the front of the crowd.
Throwing acid drops out to the crowd.
Yeah. Acid drops.
I don't know.
Like real acid? Like tabs?
Yes, Brian.
Jesus.
Drugs.
Moving on.
Yes.
Like I said something controversial. Come on, calm
down. Let's keep it moving. Do we want to play that thing, or do we want to just do fork?
Oh, no, we can absolutely do that.
Okay.
iTunes.
So that brings us to our big discussion topic hour.
Discussions.
The big discussion. And for this week's episode, you know what? I'm just going to get to it. I want to know, and I want everybody on the board, I want all of your opinions too. Gentlemen, are we excited to have an NXT takeover that Golda, I think you said, what was it? A month and a half after, right? It's only been a month and a half since WrestleMania.
Month and a half after Mania, and then it's going to be 3 months until the next one. That's before SummerSlam.
Right. So, I mean, I know, and Rob, you were just saying it too. The card itself, I mean, I guess it's good. I mean, the tag match, I guess that could be on any card, and we'd be excited about it.
Love it. Sure.
Right. But I mean, the main event, and now that Ember, there's a lot of kind of, I don't know, just things that just feel off about this one.
The women's match would have been fine with until Ember got hurt. Now I'm still okay with it, but I'm like, eh.
Oh, you know what?
Because we're pretty sure that Asuka's going to come out with the title now.
Right.
Whereas before, We were
it was up in the air.
We were 50-50 whether she was going to win or Asuka was going to retain. Now it's like, dude, she's going to win. It's obvious.
Yeah. Right. So I mean, gentlemen, do you which one of you do we want to take? Anyone have any kind of things that you want to get off your chest?
Yeah,
as far as this goes.
I think the point you're making here is takeovers. We're getting more of them, and we're getting them more frequently. And I do believe that it waters it down. It waters it down a lot because we've been celebrating the fact that NXT shows are 1 hour long. Therefore, we're not getting rammed with the same crap. We don't see Enzo's gimmick every week. We hear it every 2 to 3 weeks or whatever. It's spaced out. And with takeovers being so few and far between, there's a lot of time to properly tell a story throughout a month. Throughout 2 months, throughout 3 months, to build a really strong emotional connection with a match or a rivalry that's going to happen at the takeover. Now it's just like the main roster. Let's throw a match on there. We only got a month and a half to do it. A month and a half to build this program.
So I mean, why do you think that there is an NXT Takeover Chicago just a month and a half after we just had the one at WrestleMania? Now 3 months until we have the next one.
It's simple. It's the same reason why they went from the Big Four, the main roster, to the In Your Houses to do the monthly pay-per-views is from the smart fan point of view, air quotes. It's because it's a revenue thing, a price point thing. More takeovers means more money.
Sure.
But it doesn't necessarily mean a better product. So
no, definitely not.
From a Mark standpoint, I don't like it. From a smart standpoint, I understand it.
Yeah, from your point of view, I understand. Like, they just announced the ladder match last night. That's going to happen in a week and a half. Whereas before, they would announce whatever tag match, title match would be like a month in advance, and you'd get some build-up towards it, whereas you're not just throwing it on there a week and a half beforehand.
Yeah, and I think you hinder the development of some of your newer guys. When you're rushed, when you have an hour show a week and you're rushed to build programs for 7 matches, Golda, then you've got to push those specific rivalries out there to get a connection, and those newer faces that we're all kind of wanting to see come up and make something out of themselves, they're not getting the time anymore.
Unless they go to 2 hours.
Unless they go to 2 hours, but
which, if they continue having these extra takeovers, dude, that might be the next step.
Extra takeovers, and not only that, but not even seeing guys consistently week to week on TV.
I give 6 hours, 7 hours of my week. 7 hours of my week to WWE.
What's up, Kiara?
I don't want to give another hour. I don't want to give another 2-3 hours. They're getting the UK show coming in, the women's tournament. If they added another hour to NXT, that's way too much time in my life. I just do not want to go through. What are you going?
Oh, your charger.
She's stealing my charging cable.
Yeah, go for it.
Just yank it hard. Let's pull it. There you go.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, yeah.
Yeah. Hi, Kiara. Bye, Kiara.
So takeovers. I mean, I like the fact that they're having extras. Hi, Kiara. Bye, Kiara.
Okay.
Kisses. But, I mean, because anytime we can get more takeovers, I'm excited about it.
Sure.
But at the same time, if it's going to come at a cost of them not being able to develop their talent as much, I don't know if I like it as much.
Well, it's quantity or quality. Which one do you want? From a moneymaker, you want quantity.
So I had a thought before we were going into the show, just because we were discussing what we were going to talk about as far as this goes, and I had an idea that I don't know if we've mentioned it before, but do you think that they announced that they were having a takeover the same weekend as Backlash, just because they knew that the Backlash card wasn't going to be all that great? Do you think that this is a way to alleviate, the main show isn't going to be all that good, but now we're going to have the NXT show just to kind of maybe, bring up the views just a little bit, just because that they know, like I said, Backlash, I mean, the card is what it is. And there's also a lot of guys from NXT that are on that card, too.
I don't care.
Yeah, the biggest saving grace for that Backlash pay-per-view is they saved Nakamura's in-ring debut on the main roster for that show.
If you think that's a good thing. I'm salty about this. I'm salty about the fact that NXT's adding all these takeovers.
It's becoming just another promotion, brother.
I know. Again, people on the board are saying, I think somebody said, Hitman says, bitch brain. Those feuds last so much longer than they should have in NXT. We honestly have to wait to see. I am an old school thought process here. I like to see the pay-per-views be the end-all, be-all of a good feud.
Yeah, so do I.
I don't like to see these, while WWE has, WWE, the main roster, you have one feud that lasts 3 or 4 pay-per-views. I don't believe in that. I think it should be The big stage is where we settle our dispute and we get over it. If there's a rematch to be had, cool. For what?
Sorry, 4 events. Like just keep it to how they used to have it. 4 takeovers.
Yeah, 4 takeovers.
For the big ones.
Yeah, don't water it down, man.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, what's his face? See, JVL Shadow said Black wasn't even given enough time to get a feud, but then Hitman or Shitman or Bitch Brian said that does he need a feud, honestly? Just let him squash.
We were talking about that earlier. He doesn't need a feud.
Yeah, he doesn't need anything. He's ready.
He is so fucking ready.
And I just want to say bye to Adam Bomb. He says it's practice time. I don't know what he practices.
His ukulele.
Oh, right. That's right. I forgot. He does live ukulele shows here in the Charlotte area.
Yeah, and he's a recorder teacher. He teaches the recorder.
Right. Oh, that's true. Right.
Yeah.
Not even real instruments.
No.
Poor Adam. Poor guy.
And everyone else is saying they're saying the same thing on the board too. I mean, Juan Rodriguez, he didn't even say, he just typed in money bags emojis and dollar signs.
Oh, that's all it is. It's all about the money, and I get that. As a mark, that doesn't mean I have to like it.
Right.
Does Vince Russo have anything to add? I thought I saw him somewhere, but I don't know if he wanted to say anything.
What?
Oh, well said.
Good point, man.
All right, Vince.
All right. Well, I guess if there's nothing else on the board, I mean, we can keep moving. I don't know why I keep saying that. Jesus Christ.
Keep on.
Advertised for NXT next week. We have, and we saw a little bit of it. We had a little promo segment during this episode of NXT. We had Cassius Ohno and Andrade Cien Almas, and you know what? This was actually the apex of Rob mowing the lawn. So Golda, I mean, if you just catch me up as far as what was going back and forth. I know.
Well, basically, Ohno was talking about how he came in, got his title match, and lost, and whenever he gets pushed down, he gets back up, and then Almas came out and was talking trash to him in Spanish. He called him a perro, so he called him a dog at least once.
Perros.
And then Ohno said, "You know what? Next week, me versus you. Let's do it." And then Almas just snickered and walked away.
Man,
I'm really curious. This is another one where I'm really enjoying the long drawn story here with Almas. Like, why? It's like a TV series. Why is he like this? Why is he not caring about his matches? Why? It's mysterious. It's a drama thing. I want to know why.
It's like an onion, and there's a lot of layers
there
you can peel off.
And you cry at every one of them. Yes.
Sure.
Yeah.
Right.
But did anybody notice that the Drew and Cassius looked like they got together and like, hey, what are you going to talk about in your promo? Oh, it's cool. I'll do it too.
Well, I don't think it really matters for... Well, I guess it does for the Spanish-speaking ones.
But, it's like the NXT promo is the same thing as on the main roster, how it's always, when I was a kid and I dreamed of being a wrestler, I came in, blah, 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 blah. And now NXT, it's, when I used to be in NXT and now I got released and now I'm back and I want my title, blah, 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 blah. It's just the same kind of repetitive, here I am to prove the point from before. Like, no! Have emotional feuds with people. Fucking cheat on them. Fuck around their wife or beat up their car. Get their kid beat up or something that draws me into an emotional connection to your character. I don't give a fuck, Cassius and Drew, that you were there 3 years ago and you got released. I don't care.
Well, actually, now that I think about it, I mean, we might be seeing this might be a match that happens at TakeOver because both those guys, they don't have a match announced just yet, right?
No.
So, I mean, there could be some sort of shit ending and then just have a rematch at TakeOver. I mean, we're that close.
Yeah, or the pre-show for TakeOver, we hear, oh, here's the rest of the card.
That sucks. Because, I mean, I know you're in the same boat. Andrade, man.
Yeah.
I feel like he's getting the raw end of the deal.
I like where he's at.
Yeah? You like him putting guys over and just kind of...
Yeah. Because I think
we've seen it, though.
I think it's going to come to it should come to a head, to a punchline here where you go... Oh, I get it now. Somebody's going to piss him off enough that it breaks him out of his not giving a fuck kind of thing, and then he starts going on a winning streak or whatever the case may be. But it's a story. I'm emotionally invested in this. Here's a guy who's very talented, who gets squashed all the time, and he's going out partying with women afterwards, and he doesn't give a fuck that he's losing.
It's kind of like me.
Yeah, it's a lot like you, especially the women part.
Right.
Speaking of not giving a fuck, Who gives a fuck that Wesley Blake was out there?
Speaking of, yes, we have Wesley Blake and Drew Galloway maybe having a match next week. I
Who
don't know.
really gives a fuck?
Well,
that
he's
he
a new
came
father.
out?
He's down under. Yes.
And
Wait.
no, the other guy, Buddy Murphy's down under.
Yeah,
He's also,
crikey.
he's also the one banging Alexa Bliss, so I'm very mad at him.
Don't say that. He's not. No, he's not. She's
Wesley
single and out there, and
They're engaged,
She
bro.
calls me
whatever.
every day.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, so it was Wesley Blake, who I could care nothing about.
Nothing.
Well, he's a former tag team champion. We got to give him that.
You know why?
Why?
Alexa Bliss.
Debatable. No, I guess so.
Also, they just repackaged him as the redneck.
When?
He was
Right now?
Yeah,
that's true.
because he was
Well, he's from
touring,
Texas.
I bet
he
he's
was touring house shows.
I bet he's
as a
watching your
redneck.
old shows for inspiration, for motivation.
Probably.
Yeah,
Just carry a hateful flag, although it wasn't hateful at the time. But that's a whole story for another time.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway, so that's what they got next week. We think. We don't know. Hopefully, we'll see Galloway in the ring because we didn't see him this week. So that makes sense that he'll be there if they're going by their pattern.
Hey, would they name their child like Wesley Cakes by Sarah Lee? Sorry.
So do you? I'm assuming we're gonna get Bobby Roode next week.
Yes.
Oh, you have to,
yes.
right?
If he was off, I mean, he wasn't even really on last week either, was he? We had a little bit of a promo.
No, they just showed him like stumbling out after Hitami go to sleep.
Right.
I don't even look. I don't even know who we're gonna see on the next show anymore. Again, I feel like
it's a crapshoot, man.
They're rushing to get everybody in there, and it's like I don't even. Are we gonna see Heavy Machinery again, or I guess Ono will get a match and Drew will get. I guess those two will be the matches. We just talked about that, and then Velveteen Dream. Maybe he shows up.
No Way Jose's been missing. Oni Lorcan nowhere to be found.
Sanity. Where's Sanity at besides Nikki?
Right. No Sanity.
Maybe they're. I don't know. I have no clue.
Boy.
I mean, they have to put Alister Black on the card, right?
They have to.
At this point, has he been on every week?
Every other week.
That's their pattern. That's their thing.
We have to do a Thursday where we drive down to Florida and sit for the tapings, or Wednesday, whatever it is now.
Mm-hmm. I think it's Wednesday.
It used to be Thursday.
Yeah, dude, I'm down. We will all three of us go, and Kiera or whoever.
Kiera has to come. But yeah, obviously, you sit there for 4 shows and you can just watch Alister fight twice, so you get that kick-ass entrance 2 fucking times in a night.
Why not 4?
Why not?
Right?
I like it.
Why not 4?
Because you're not going to carry enough pants.
Or
underwear, I should say.
Who?
You don't have enough underwear on you to change after every time he comes out.
Oh, yeah, he does make me poop.
Oh, no, I'm not talking about poop.
Oh, no, it doesn't make
the
me
other
do
side.
that. No, maybe throw up or poop.
Oh, no. Alister Black? Oh, no.
Next week, we have no shows this weekend, so I'll just plug the Rawsome show that we have coming up on Monday night with my 2 fellow NXTers, my one half of Heavy Handed Heavies, and Mr. Rodeo Rob.
The Mixing Maestro.
Yes, the Mixing Maestro.
And the speed round for Monday,
what is it?
Conversation, is going to be about that wrestler you think should not have come to WWE earlier in their career, who would not have made it, would not have been what they are now if they had not came from different.
That's a huge list of people.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
It's going to be fun. Me and Adam had a nice long conversation about that last night. I thought, you know what? It's a good speed round. Let's do that.
That is.
Yeah.
And then we also have Tuesday night, myself, and who else will be there? I guess Mr. Autumn. I always call him Autumn Bomb.
That's cool.
Autumn Bomb.
Yeah, he's a woman.
You forgot to mention Steve Awesome.
Oh, Steve. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Maybe Medine.
Steve Awesome, maybe Medine. And does Kiera drop in ever? I mean, on
Mondays?
I feel like she's almost kind of like Triple H or Lesnar-esque. Like she'll just show up whenever she shows up.
Yeah, she's got
which is awesome.
Well, Mondays are her night with the kids, my night on the podcast. Tuesdays are my night with the kids, her nights on the podcast. So if the kids, if they go to sleep.
Oh, I'm not complaining.
Might join.
I'm just saying it's awesome.
Yeah.
I do have one thing to say about that speed round.
Yeah.
You're really going to expect Medine to pay enough attention to you to give you a good answer?
I'm going to bring a deadly weapon, and I'm going to threaten him with it if he doesn't, do what he's supposed to do.
There you go.
Maybe tell him extra early so he has a couple hours to think about it.
Medine is awesome when he gives a quick 20-second answer or 30-second answer to something. It's when he draws on for fucking 3 minutes repeating himself.
And he's so monotone. It's like,
and not letting anybody else get in. It's like if you just make your point and shut the fuck up, you're great. If you stop dragging out.
Oh, so he's bobbing it?
Yeah, he's right.
He's bobbing it.
Bobbing it.
Yeah, and yes, bobbing it, bobbing it. And you know what? I'm gonna plug our show for next week. Can I do that?
Yeah.
Next week we'll be on next Thursday at 5 o'clock, as always.
And to address the comment earlier, I think it was JVL Shadow saying from the commercial, the housekeeping notes, that none of those shows have been on yet.
Oh, that's what he was talking about.
Yeah. One of them has already, the Indy McKinney face.
That's true.
Has already started but hasn't been released. We've had an episode. We're mastering it down. We've got more plans. We want to kind of do those, periodically.
Yeah, and we're working out the production qualities, and a lot of that you can throw on me too. I'll take the blame for that. But I promise you, we are working on things. If I could do this full time, I fucking would.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
But that would require like a lot of donations from people,
or a lot of
views.
or
views on YouTube,
or forks.
And starting tomorrow, every Friday we'll have the Golda Standard, which is going to be on my weekly column, which will be on the website. So you can link to it off the website. We'll post it on Facebook, Instagram. So every Friday, you'll be getting some kind of wrestling-based column. And then randomly, I'll just have other ones up too. But the main one, the Golda Standard, will be up every Friday.
Awesome.
Cool. And who made that comment? Who was that? JVL Shadow?
JVL. Yes. I think it was him.
Okay.
Because I promised him my my indie recap video, but as I told Brian, my computer will not let me edit video. And he is really busy. So you. So I do have all the stuff. We're eventually going to get it together.
Cool.
All right, so that brings us to our final takeaways, guys.
That was your marked out rag session. All
right. And I know on the board you guys are getting yours prepared, so I will turn it over to one of these two fine gentlemen.
Rob first.
Sure.
Nose goes.
Well, I always go first.
That's fair. No, my final takeaway is just a trend that we're starting to see that NXT is starting to lose its emotional appeal. It's starting to become a little bit too bland when it comes to the entertainment factor, with the exception of the entrances, which are absolutely great. I just think that, to me, I'm tired of these guys that have no personality. I'm tired of these guys who have to prove themselves after they got released 3 years ago or whatever the fucking case may be. Come in there and do your thing. You quit reflecting on the past all the damn time. The present is now. I want now. I want now in the future. The past is over. Shut the hell up. Start it new. Be a different person. Get over this time. Period. Point. End. Yes.
Yeah, that's a very valid point that you made.
Damn right.
I like that. Mr. Golda.
I mean, for me, my final takeaway is they're leaving so many names off of TakeOver this year that I really feel like should be on the card. Like Drew McIntyre. I almost called him Galloway for a second. Drew McIntyre, it does not have a match. Roderick Strong does not have a match. Like I said, No Way Jose, he's gone. Sanity is nowhere on the card, and they've been on every TakeOver pretty much the last few times. They're nowhere to be found. There's no other tag team besides the two in the match. There's no other women's match besides the triple threat. There's so much that they should be doing, but we're getting just this little pile of crap that they handed us. Mm-hmm. And this is the first time I've really been critical about it. I'm not very excited about TakeOver. I'll watch it, obviously.
Yeah.
But I feel like they had made such big hubbub about Drew McIntyre coming back. Shouldn't he at least, maybe not be the focal point of the next TakeOver, but at least be somewhat of a big push type on it? Because he was like such a big point at the last TakeOver when they showed him in the crowd, and he came back, had a couple really great matches, but he's not on the TakeOver whatsoever.
Yeah,
very true.
Bullshit.
Well, I mean, it doesn't mean that he's not going to be on the card, but I see what you're saying.
He needs to be like a feature somewhere on the card.
We don't know what the damn card is.
That's true.
That's the problem.
That's true.
So I can't get emotionally invested on a match that I have no idea is going to happen.
That's right. And then final thoughts on the board.
You want me to do it or you want to do it?
You can do it.
Okay, cool. Hitman saying that, bitch Brian, this show has now become the A show. If it pisses Adam off, good. Maybe Hitman needs to make like a Samoan and drift.
Samson?
Oh,
yeah.
Samoan.
Like, Jariah Samson?
My mic stand is right in the way. Okay. Final thought, JVL Shadow, get ready for the worst TakeOver yet. Hitman says, love me some Medine. He is great, like Rob said, in small bits, but when he phones it in, drags the show almost to a halt. Hitman, welcome, Team Brian. Okay. Team Heavy. All right, they're all over your jock right now.
Yeah. And, well, thank you. Thank you, Rob. You forgot one of Noah's. He says, fuck Odessa, Texas.
He's been saying that all show, and I don't know why.
Oh, and fuck that dude from the Kings of Leon. That band sucks more. Okay.
Your sex is
and
on
my
fire.
Final.
I just read that. That's
yes.
great. No, we can't put that.
Yeah,
You're
come on.
fucking 12.
Maybe do that
Go
on
wash
Monday,
your mouth
Tuesday.
out with soap. Jesus Christ.
Anyway. My final takeaway, I'm just going to echo more of basically what you guys have said and what everyone on the board has said too, is that this takeover just kind of feels very forced almost. I mean, yeah, the card, like you said, yeah, we'll watch it. It'll be good. I'm sure the matches itself, they'll be fun to watch. But I mean, outside of that, there's nothing really else. It feels very quick. And like you said, maybe if they had just paced it out, maybe just a few weeks even, because that would bring it to almost 2 months. That would be an appropriate time to maybe have a bigger show that you can showcase new guys like Drew Galloway or maybe even Cassius Ohno. Well, they'll probably be on the card, but Cassius Ohno or Andrade Cien Almas.
Yeah, but
the list
goes
thrown
on the card.
Right.
It should be advertised, like built on the card.
Exactly. Because like you said,
Sunday, Cassius Ohno in his underwear and jersey.
I mean, just like we said during when we were watching it, that we felt like mid-June would have been a much better time to have it than mid-May.
Right.
But and what do we know?
Exactly. Well, what the fuck do we know? And I guess also I'll cap it off too that I really don't want them to get in this trend of having guys show up 1 week and then next week we don't see them and then the week after we'll see them and then they'll disappear and we don't really have any idea of who's going to be on what show or when we're going to see them next. I don't know. I mean, I just wish there was a little bit more clarity as far as who I'm going to be watching on television and whether that means adding a second hour, which I mean, I'm not really a fan of that. But
well, here's what you do, Brian, is you have a reference point to the title picture, to the women's title picture, and to the tag title picture, a reference point at some portion in the show, and then you can have whoever you want in matches, right? Just a reference point, whether it's a small promo, a pre-tape promo, a video package, whatever the case may be, just something to give you a weekly follow-up, but you don't have to have those people there to do it.
Right.
So
I don't know.
Yeah. No, you don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, right? Yeah. All right, so that was fun, guys. This was a good episode. What was it, 148? Holy shit, that number's getting up there. Oh, you know what? What I didn't say this weekend, I didn't plug. Saturday. Saturday. Fat Jew goes through table. Yes. Adam will be going through a table. We have the table... Right, we have the table.
Yes.
Crap.
So I got the table. I'm gonna get it all nice and gimmicked ready, so we don't kill Adam.
No.
Wait, no. Let's go full. No, don't. Yeah, let him go right through that motherfucker.
Right. Well, that's what we'll tell him. Be like, oh yeah, we actually got this from the old WCW power plant. It was just laying around. It's one of those ones that just explodes. So you have nothing to worry about.
Took the rails off.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
Put extra rails on it.
Yeah.
Shit. So that's happening Saturday. We're not sure what time are we? We'll be live streaming on our Facebook. Correct?
Just keep watching the social media for the updates. I don't know what time we're doing it all, but
it's supposed to start around 8.
It started around 8. He'll probably be going around in a table. I don't know, 9:30, 10ish. Right. It's not like we're gonna show up and then throw him through a fucking table.
We got to give him all of his diapers for his diaper party first.
Get him a little liquored up so he can kind of.
Oh. We can just put diapers on the floor beneath him so he slams into the table and then falls into diapers.
Yeah, I think we've had that thought.
Noah had a good question. He said, are we going to do anything special for 200 episodes? We haven't thought that far ahead.
6 month was cool because it was our 6th month. 100 episodes, which actually landed on our 1 year anniversary, was really a cool kind of momentous occasion. So that was great. We also hit 10,000 downloads at that point as well.
Lots of milestones.
It was lots of milestones in one little package. The 200 show, I mean, we've added, we do 3 shows, 4 shows a week now sometimes. So 200 to me is like, yay, but it's not really milestone-y.
We're looking for something a little bit more substantial.
Yeah, I think when we get to our next big kind of milestone show is when we get to our 2 year anniversary, we're going to have a separate broadcast from the norm to have a drunk show. Since the last time we did a drunk show for a reaction show, we got a lot of heat for it. So
we did?
Oh, yeah. People were like, this is
stupid. Oh, that's right.
All the people who drank with us were like, oh, we loved it. But when, the people who were sober were like, this is dumb. I'm out, So.
Yeah, we definitely alienated a lot of people.
Yeah, whatever.
I can't wait.
Split the sides.
I can't wait.
Social media, our Twitter, at SmartMarkShow. I said SmartMarkShow again. God damn it.
Smart Mark Show.
All right, ready?
Take
2. Our social media, our Twitter is at SmartMarkShow. www.markedoutwrestling.com. Our email, markedoutpodcast@gmail.com. Fan line, 704-444-0084. And our Instagram is at markedoutwrestling. Kind of got it. Not really.
You're getting better.
Getting there.
Last week was perfect.
Getting there. That's true. Thank you guys for listening. Board, as always, thank you again for chiming in. And a new listener, Adam Baum, thank you also for also saying some fun things before having to leave for his ukulele practice.
Reviews on iTunes.
That's right.
iTunes.
Fork, you guys. That's right. And as for us, we're going to make like a Samoan and drift.
Go away, fat man.
I'll catch you on the flip side.
Marked Out Podcast is recorded, edited, distributed, and marketed at U-Record Studios in Charlotte, North Carolina. For more information on optimizing your podcast for increased listenership, check out U-Record on Facebook, Twitter, and email sales@urecordstudios.com or visit the website www.urecordstudios.com.
Yes! 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 Yes!
You're listening to the Electronic Media Collective Podcast Network. Yeah, it's a mouthful. For more great shows, visit electronicmediacollective.com.